What's going on, Aquarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Aquarius, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. And you want to know why? Because it's your general energy weekly spread. I think it was Libra. I think I'm going to have to get some like maracas or something to really kind of spice this opening up. But, nature my problem. But with this weekly spread, Aquarius, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the shenanigans with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Aquarius. So Aquarius, with this spread, I'm going to be pulling a few oracle cards, and then we'll get some tarot cards to get some details on the mix. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then in case y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested there, Aquarius. Oh, interesting. Okay. No need to stay calm, Aquarius. No need to worry, because you got the ninth card of Gemini, ninth card of Gemini's here, which is the worry bead. So hang with me, because with this card, this is a card of worry, fear, anxiety, irritated, calming, soothing, bored, passing time, upset, unease, needs care, fretful, ritual, repetitive motion, de-escalate, and nervous tick. And here's the thing when we get with this energy, this is very much like this Nine of Gemini is oddly enough, it definitely gives me kind of like gives me almost like a mix of like the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords. It's like very much kind of in our head type of energy. And if you have any Gemini placements or know anything about Gemini energy, it can be on like a lower vibration. It can be very like a very overactive mind. And when that overactiveness gets in the state of like worry, fear, anxiety, all of that just it perpetuates into our world, not just in our internal world, but into our external stuff as well, and then creates these tower moments and needs of hanged man. So if we've been like operating in this space, maybe with all the changes that are going down, with it in the world, or maybe even just in like our personal sphere, maybe things are going down with work, home, whatever. Finding some time, Aquarius, really to do some calming things, some soothing things, and even like being really mindful too, because just being an air sign, your thoughts are especially powerful. Being mindful of just like what we're telling ourselves, getting in that practice of even like how I was saying, it's like don't worry. Instead of even saying that don't worry, stay calm, because even then that worry is still in there. Let's stay calm. Let's get zen. Let's try. How can I get tranquil in this? I'm feeling, what you may be experiencing is anxiety, fear, but that's we can work with that. How can we change this? Maybe we need to go for a walk. Maybe we journal this thing down. Maybe maybe you get a punching bag, maybe we give fear a face, and it's just like, I don't know how you do, Aquarius, you know how your minds are. But whatever little rituals that we need to get through times of stress or of really extreme emotions, let's work on that. Let's start getting that into a routine, practicing these things, whether it's positive affirmations or whatever kind of coping exercises we can do. But I find that just with that repetitive motion, if you can make that to where that is like your go-to when things are starting to go south, you feel yourself starting to spiral, absolutely. It's great to just like, okay, wait a minute, maybe get yourself some beads or I don't know, just like something to count. It's like, okay, I'm great, we're fine, everything's fine. Yes, the world is on fire around me. And listen, That's not to say that, to take away from the suck of your problem, that may still be, might have reason to be worried, to be, to feel this stuff. But when we're operating from a cooler, from a calmer place, it makes these things more easy to tackle, and makes it makes it less insurmountable, Aquarius. So just something to keep in mind of with these worry beads, and just just getting caught up in our heads in general. But let's get some tarot on this and get some more details. All right, let's see what we got here. Interesting. Okay, so you got the Five of Cups, the Four of Swords, and then the Queen of Wands. And here's the thing. With this Five of Cups here, this can be, could be a card of disappointed. Maybe we were disappointed in how a situation went down. Maybe we were disappointed how we reacted in something. Five of Cups. Yeah, it can be like a card. It can be like a card of disappointment and things. But really, when you think about or at least when I think about Mars and Scorpio, that's what this card is. That can be very hot energy. And when we get Scorpio being a fixed sign, and you're a fixed sign as well, Aquarius. When you think about that type of energy, especially when Scorpio, I feel gets really fixated on something. I mean, it can be almost if we're not mindful, it could be to their detriment. Scorpio has got to be, they're of the water signs, and I mean of the Zodiac. They're known as, they got the moniker as the most, intense of the Zodiac. But these feelings here that you're going through, they don't have to be where they keep you locked up or keep your emotions, because this kind of stuff here, it almost gives me, the energy I'm feeling is almost frazzled, when you get in that place of just like that heat, almost like fire at the feet of the Queen of Wands here. But here's the thing, and I like that, because when you're faced with situations, even with fire at her feet, the Queen of Wands is cool as a cucumber. She's in this deck. That's one of my favorite things to talk about her in this deck, is that she's cool as a cucumber, because she's using this fire to her advantage. This could be where, yes, we could see it as everything's burning, or we could take this as a situation here, at least in her instance, to take a great selfie. I mean, look at her. That she's working these flames here. But you get what I'm saying, Aquarius. We can take adversity and turn it to our advantage. We can take any of these stresses, these fears, and use them as fuel. That's what an emperor would do, and that's what you can do. And know that whatever this is, this will pass. It might get you feeling some kind of way. We want to be mindful too. Just thinking with that, Mars is actually in Cancer right now for a little bit longer, and at least through the 19th, depending on when you're watching this. And emotions are still kind of running hot here. We're getting towards the tail end, but that's still not to say we can't be reactive during this time. But, Four of Swords is saying you will get through this. Whatever situations that we may either be in or that may come in the future, you will get this. And the thing is with the Queen of Wands, yeah, there are going to be some times where, sure, yeah, was she a little stressed? Was she a little worried about something? Yeah, but she's a type, she's going to figure it out as she goes. We may not know all the answers, but we're not going to focus on what we don't know. We're going to focus on what we do know. We're going to pay attention to the present. So anything really, Aquarius, to get you in a place of zen, to get your mind at ease, this is great. Work with this energy, use these emotions, these experiences to your advantage. That's the whole point of this journey. Right? Let's see what else we got here. Oh, okay. I guess that's it. Oh, but perfect. I like that. How perfect. Because you got the Two of Cups here, and then we got the Ten of Cups. I like that, because that's how we do it. Because the ten of cups, this is Mars and Pisces. And when I think about that energy, Pisces is very loving energy. You know, they're very compassionate. And when we get in these states, Aquarius, you want to be compassionate, be kind to yourself. Show yourself some love with this Two of Cups here. It's everything is going to be fine. You're going to get this figured out. You know, whatever these is, you know, anything, these. Because here's the thing, there are always going to be things that are going to, you know, possibly cause you fears, worries, anxieties, but they're going to strengthen you. Every time this stuff comes up, it gets a little bit easier, it gets a little bit easier. But we just have to make sure if something does have us feeling some kind of way, making sure that we pause, get our minds right, you know, self-care, you know, fill up our cups. Because just thinking about, talk about Cancer energy, Venus is in Cancer as well, and I love it. Venus is in Cancer right now. This card here is Venus in Cancer. And this is great energy for love, you know, for nurturing, for loving yourself. And also, too, speaking of that, great energy for sharing with people, sharing these worries, these fears, these, you know, any type of this stuff here. What a great energy. And listen, you know, Aquarius, I know being an air sign, you know, that can be air. And it's not that air isn't emotional. It's just that air, you know, focuses more on the intellectual sides of things. They understand emotions, but just the feeling of them can be a little tricky sometimes. You know, hit up someone who you can share this with, you know, who can share that kind of empathetic ear, you know, kind of help you maybe navigate through this thing. And, you know, don't feel, this with this Five of Cups, don't feel disappointed. Here's some disappointment. Don't feel disappointed in yourself if you need to ask for help. You know, that's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign of strength, because, hey, we've recognized the limitation here. Something's lowering our vibrations, and we got eyes on it. So, and there's power to that, because now you're in control how we can change the narrative and how we can fill up these cups here, because we weren't feeling too hot at first, or maybe we were feeling really hot, you know, maybe frustrated, but now that those feelings, now that we've had a little time to self-care, get our heads right, now those things have been assuaged, you know, now we're content, we're at satiety. So I'm with it. Nice. Something to think about, Aquarius. But let's get another oracle on the mix here. Okay. So efficient, Aquarius. I'm with it. And wow, very okay. So you got the 7th card of Gemini's here, which is the convertible card. Look, gee, maybe we need to go on a road trip. But this is a card of many options, free will, adjacent possibilities, choices, flexible, adaptable, potential, change, freedom, enjoyment, two-faced, going with the wind, and alternative preferences. And just even thinking about that adaptable and, you know, being flexible. If we do get caught up in worry, Aquarius, it really is just it's a matter, your perspective is going to be very important. I mean, just really always throughout this journey, Aquarius, but at least get me through the end of the year. I'll, you know, then we'll check back in, you know, once Pluto moves back into your sign. But this is something where we want to be flexible with this energy, in the sense of we just don't want to think that we're locked. You know, we don't want to get just fixed on the fear, the worry, all of those things. We want to see this for the potential that it really does have, because these feelings are trying to guide you somewhere. They're trying to unlock something different, something new. And there is, just with this, there's a choice that can be made when we get in these kind of energies. And listen, I'm not saying that you're choosing to stay in this fear, but we can either choose to feed into that energy, in the sense of like you can get kind of like get lost up in the spiral, or we can figure out how we can break that script, if that's something that's been resonating with you, you know, if that's something that comes up. Because listen, it can be sneaky how it happens, and then when it gets started, it can just it's like a snowball. You know, you push snowball down a mountain and it turns into like an avalanche. But underneath all that snow, there's growth there. There's Ten of Cups. And I know that that's a weird analogy, but it's seeing that there are more options than just these feelings that you're going down. The world is not just fear based. And really with everything that's happening with Pluto being in your sign, and granted it's going to go retrograde back into Capricorn, but Aquarius, this on a bigger scale, just even thinking with this, I was actually talking with a buddy of mine. They're in Aquarius, and this is really going to be a transformative time for all of you, wherever you have Aquarius in your placement. Once Pluto really gets settled in, settle in. And I don't mean that to get you worried or anything. It's to get you in the mindset of like, if you work, well, not even if, because when you work with these energies, Aquarius, I know you are. When you work with these energies, it's going to be just spectacular change for you, because when Pluto starts moving around, making aspects with like your planets, and this is where learning your chart, figuring out what degree your things, your planets and energies fall, but at least just knowing your placement so you can just get settled in. Because like, for example, my Saturn is in Aquarius, but that's going to be more of a generational one, and there's going to be everyone born within like that 3-year gap. There's going to be a push for it, which is actually really exciting. I was thinking about that earlier. It's just a lot of changes getting ready to happen. The energies are going to be pushing you in a different direction, and we want to be flexible. We don't want to be worried about this stuff because there's change that's coming on the horizon. And whom better, really, to bring this change than your innovative energy there, Aquarius. But don't let the ideas of the future, because yours is a futuristic sign, don't let the ideas of the future or anything along those lines worry you. There's going to be, you have the free will to enjoy this change, this freedom, and enjoy the growth. But let's get some more on this, because really this is the next, like, 2024, and then just while Pluto's in Aquarius, you really settle in and really be thinking about what you want to accomplish and what that looks like. What do you wanna? Because you can. Absolutely interesting. Okay. So you got the Princess of Cups here, you got the Ten of Swords, and then you have the Devil here, Aquarius. And with this, let's talk about the Devil. Because the Devil card, the Devil can get into this realm, because the Devil can be anything that lowers our vibration. And the Devil isn't the one that's lowering our vibration. The Devil brings to attention the things that keep us from filling our cups, to maybe think where we might have overindulged a little bit. Even with this, we're thinking with the Princess of Cups, sometimes she has a tendency to, not be, to give her energy, just kind of, not be mindful where she's giving her energies. That's what the Devil is about, getting those vices in your face and asking you, how do you feel about that? How are you dealing with that? Does this thing still hinder your growth? Is this still leading you into a place where, we're stuck in our heads? We feel like we're in ruin? Because if so, all the Devil wants you to do, this is Capricorn energy, all the Devil wants you to do is to work on that, and to get stronger from that. They share a ruler with you. They share Saturn with you. And you know how Saturn is when, Saturn can be a bit of a hard ass when he's demanding work, for growth. But when you do put in that work, Saturn is very generous with the energies, with the rewards, with the abundance. You 10 of Cups all day, because that's what you've been working on, raising your vibration, filling up your cups. But that's where it's easy to find the worry and the anxiety and the fear and stuff. I was actually just telling Capricorn that it's easy to find the suck in things sometimes. But the reason 10 of Cups and all that stuff is abundance, and that raises our vibration, because you got to work for it a little bit. You got to work to raise your vibration. But when you do, man, don't you feel better every time you do it? And that's all the Devil wants you to do, just keep doing that. And then as you grow through this, this, whatever this thing that might have lowered your vibration may present itself in a different way. And again, that's not to keep you down. It's just like, it's almost, think of them as like benchmarkers. It's like, all right, I was at rock bottom here. Now I made some progress. Here's another 10 of Swords opportunity. How you feeling? Great. And that's all it wants. And then if we do have a moment where we might slip up, because it happens, Aquarius, you know, we just get back, we be kind to ourselves, we nurture ourselves, you know, if we do a little self-love, and then we get back up again the next day and try it again. Because here's the thing too, sometimes when I think about when we're working on growing from these fears or anything along those lines, we can get on like such a good streak, and then if that streak gets broken, then we just focus on that one thing, and it completely diminishes all the work that we've put up until this point. And you know, I remember hearing this story where it was like, do you want to be like that guy do you want to beat yourself up? I'm paraphrasing here, but it's like a guy stands on his foot for 40 years and puts his leg down once. Do you want to focus on the one time that you put your leg down and broke that 40-year streak, or do we applaud the man for standing on his leg for 40 years? I mean, leg strength of a champion. So apply that to your situation, of course, because at the end, it's making you a champion, Aquarius. So don't think that anything is meant to keep you down, meant to keep you low, or meant to bring you to ruin. You know, the 10 of Swords can be a card. One thing I like about this card is that it heralds the end of delusions, because you know the nice thing, there's no 11 of Swords, there's only the court cards, and now we're getting an understanding of this stuff. You know, now we're really comprehending, you know, what the whole point of these lessons and things are. So that was a mouthful, but I hope you got the little nuggets out of that. Now I'm in my Gemini energy. I got a Gemini moon, so I mean, all this stuff here, I thought you wanted to just chit chat there, Aquarius. So hopefully there was something in there for you. All right. Oh, and how funny! This is you're racking up quite a little bit of Gemini energy there. This is the sun in Gemini too, so some of you maybe I might be in good company here. Maybe have some Gemini placements in your chart here. Well, let's see what else we got here, Aquarius. And I'm always in good company. I'm not talking like that. Talking like that. You're just Aquarius energy by itself ain't great. Ha! I love it. What's a little more air energy for the mix here? And you know what? That's something to think about. Let me. You got the 7th card of Libras here, Aquarius, which is the biker card. And with this card, you hear that bike? Look at you rev it up, Aquarius. There's a card alone. I dig it. The card alone, wolf style, impervious, nonconformist, standing up, breaking rules, brotherhood, enjoy the ride, loves freedom, moving on, outlaw, maverick, swift actions, and need for speed. And so just with that rev up out there, if you know you're convertible here, what better way to get out of your head? And just with this, like how you have all this air energy for your oracle cards, what better way to get out of your head than maybe going for a journey? You know, if this is like a road trip, or maybe this is going on, I don't know, maybe a trip, but you know, like getting on a plane or something, Aquarius, or I don't know, going for a hike, whatever you do to just to relax, to get out of your head. And yeah, because there's really something here too, just even about, got a lot, at least with these 2 cards here too, just this question for freedom. And I almost feel like that if this is not a like getting free out of like maybe the space that you're in, just like maybe even just getting freedom from your head space, really getting out of that, because really our minds sometimes can be a tricky place if we don't have if we're not aware what we're manifesting sometimes. So really make sure that you're being mindful, just always, Aquarius, you know, just with where your thoughts are at. But I'm also getting with this. When this biker card comes up, and I think I was telling Leo something similar. You know how I feel about how brilliant you are, Aquarius. If you have any ideas, yeah, we're going there. If you have any ideas that maybe you've been worried about how others might think about it, or maybe there's, you know, like maybe you've been pitching this stuff and maybe people have got you feeling, they've gotten you doubting these ideas. You know, maybe they're like, Aquarius, that doesn't make sense. You know, how's that even going to be applicable to this world? Whatever that is. Here's my thing. The only idea, and I think I've told you this all the time, the only idea, especially with Pluto being in your sign, the only idea that's the bad idea is the one that's not being implemented. And here's the thing, Aquarius, because your mind works the way that it does, people may not understand what you're pitching, and it doesn't have to make sense to them. You just need to find the ones who you find the rule breakers who are going to support you in what you do, who will be there to provide constructive criticism as opposed to just like knocking something down. Because it's one thing if they're like, oh, I'm loving the idea, but like, do you think like maybe in order to get this thing started, won't you need to start here? If they're giving you like some, we're spitballing here, then that's one thing. But yeah, if you got someone who's trying to keep you in a box, or even if you had these ideas, but if it's you who's like, there's no way that this could work. Don't do that, Aquarius. Write this down. I would never tell you anything, tell you what to do. But if I could tell you just one thing, if you allow me the one, don't sleep on your ideas. Do not think that you can, because yours is an unconventional sign. I mean, your modern ruler, you're ruled by Uranus and Saturn, and that's a combo in itself is interesting. But you're interesting. You're a maverick. You're an outlaw. Tap into that. Go against the grain. This is it's interesting that this is look at this. I was going to say it's interesting that this is Libra, but you know what? This is Libra is aspiring to be an Aquarius. That's what's really going down here. But listen, and you know what? That's a beautiful thing if that's what that Libra is doing, because that's what your energy can do, Aquarius, as well. You can inspire others. Like just, again, chills. Let's get some tarot on that, because that was actually really beautiful. I like that. Because that's the energy that we need right now, Aquarius. Inspiration. This is, be the Queen of Wands who said, you know what, I'm not worried about it. Let's see what happens, and Queen of Wands, like I was telling you, this is Aries energy. She rules the first two decans of Aries and the last of Pisces. Very creative energy, very bold energy. She's the type of there's only plan A. And she's like, and we're just she's flexible, she's adaptable. It's just like there are a whole bunch of options. Okay, we can sit there and okay, this thing didn't go my way this route. Okay, then forget that route. We got to create 3 more routes. But let's see, and that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Here's hubby. Because you got more. I love it. Last little bit here, Aquarius. You got the Princess of Disc. You got the 3 of Wands, and then you got the Knight of Wands. Look at that, hubby for the win. Let's switch back over. Oh, before we talk about that, Aquarius, just because we got hubby and wifey here, these two are a very passionate couple, and the Princess of Disc, she's been kind of going around a little bit. She's my most fertile card in the deck of this deck. So if we're thinking about babies, you got this 2 of Cups here, a lot of love here, then I'm with it. But if that brings you worry, fear, anxiety, then let's just be mindful. But last little thing with this here. The Princess of Disc, when she's not pregnant with children, she's pregnant with ideas. And she's got a whole bunch of them. Enough that she's trying to fill this grove up here, this little forest behind her. She's going to take everything that, all these opportunities, all these great ideas that she has, everything that she holds true, what fills her cups up, she's going to take all that energy, she's going to feed that into this scepter. And you see how she's got that ground lit? Because that's her working with this Pluto and Aquarius energy. She's setting the stage. And that's where I feel like she's asking you, Aquarius, to set the stage. Because when the 3 of Wands on on other decks. Usually it's this person looking out at like multiple opportunities. And that could be you, Aquarius, but I also, how we were just even talking about with that Libra, how that aspiring Libra wanted, or that Libra was aspiring to be an Aquarius. You could be presenting people with ideas. You could be inspiring Knight of Wands, this is the King of Wands. But this is something where we have to take these ideas, these plans, and go with gusto, go with resolve. Be in that energy, and whatever that looks like, and see and watch this, nurture that thing, watch that whatever this is that your feet, if this is idea for a business, a side hustle, even if this is just an idea for like a self-improvement thing, a hobby. Making it happen though, and not because just making it happen, Aquarius, with this energy, and know that, especially with these two here, you're definitely going to get it figured out. But know that too, with this lone wolf style, you just don't have to be a lone wolf, Aquarius. You don't have to shoulder this thing by yourself. You can find people who, look at that. Queen of Wands, when she wasn't sure, when those new options opened up, hubby came. Your partner, someone who can help you with this stuff. So be open to that as well. This is great energy for it, and I'm with it. So I think I'm going to leave that there, Aquarius. That was a journey. So yeah, I hope you, because I definitely feel like I was in my Gemini energy, just like we're just going to be all over the place. Let's talk about all the scenarios. So hopefully find a little nuggets out of there, Aquarius. But give it a thumbs up. Something resonated to you. Let's help get this message around so you don't have to worry so much. This is an exciting time here. And share this, Aquarius, if you know someone who might be worried about the future, just maybe worried in general about just life or whatever that's looking like, and because you all totally got it. You'll definitely figure it out. And then, while you're on your little journey here, tell you and your biker gang to all subscribe, hit that bell button, you get notified around these videos each week. And then, what better thing too, if we find ourselves in this headspace. I've been on this meditation app for years. It definitely helped me when I've been in that vibration. But I'm on this app, Insight Timer. I've been on there for years, and I created a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group to drop like positive affirmations, encouraging messages, talk about your journeys, how we faced adversity, how we rose above, and maybe how we even hit up a friend along the way, bonds were formed. But yeah, just something to think about there, Aquarius. And, as the group grows, definitely want to start scheduling different meditations and just all types of cool stuff. Maybe do some, maybe Queen of Wands and I, maybe Knight of Wands too, will get some cooking up there. But, all that information is in the description box. And then lastly, so you got one little ticket here, not that you need one. But if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, I'm on over to my other channel, The Chariot Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We talk about lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. I dig it. Here's your ruler. You got the Fool here, Uranus. I'm with that. And you know what? Because here's the thing, Aquarius. Life is exciting. There's so many opportunities for us to grow, and so many ways to seize the day and to learn and to just throw cards all over the place. Oh, nope, I'm not keeping that one. Hold up. But with the Fool popping up, sometimes when we get in that state of panic and fear and worry, it can keep us from having that lust for life. It can take that kind of that oomph out of our that pep out of our step, and can get us to where get a little apathetic, or we can get a little weird, because it's like the Fool can even be like in that like worry bees energy. It's like, what if I fail? What if I, painting out all the possible scenarios. But it's like, okay, sure, okay, now that we've painted out all the bad things that happen, what are some of the good stuff that the Fool's jumping into? Because it can't be all bad that you're getting ready to go into, Aquarius. So I feel like that's what the Fool invites us to do, really think from, I love it. Capricorn got that, I love that. But it's it's about seeing, it's not about focusing on how things are going to just mess you up, or it's going to screw up your foundation and take away your security. It's about how we can strengthen this foundation, because you got the witch bones in reverse here. How we can grow from this, how we can let these experiences strengthen us, how we can go from that bold, that Queen of Wands, to that experienced, Knight of Wands, King of Wands. So really use, I will say with this, just for last little thing here, with the Fool and this convertible and this biker here, if this is not like a literal, like, you go into like a physical location, there is, I feel like, this need for adventure, whether this be externally or internally. There's something, figure out this foundation here, check in with yourself. And I feel that, when you put in some of that love there, Aquarius, things are going to start opening up. You're going to start feeling inspired. The ideas are going to start cooking, and it's just going to be off to the races. So, all right. I think I'm going to leave that there. I like that. So you stay safe out there with all this. Stay calm. Get yourself some calm, some soothing music, maybe light some, oh, I was actually going to light an incense earlier. Maybe I'm going to take a note from your book. I'm going to light an incense after this, Aquarius. Do some calming things for yourself. And just raise your vibration to the roof, however that looks, And I will catch you on the next one. Later.